The exact same thing that happened to Skate happened to Need for Speed. Or in this case, should I say what happened to Need for Speed happened to Skate. As of recently, the new Skate game that people are choosing to call Skate 4 has just recently become released to the public. And even since before the game came out, there was much criticism. But the truth is, this is not the first time this has happened. We have seen this before. So my question is, why the outrage now? Need for Speed Unbound came out in 2022, and it was a rather popular game when it was announced because it was doing something different. And by different, I mean changing the art style of NFS. Not really changing the game, but most of the characters, because NFS Unbound has cel-shaded characters and effects. So basically the gameplay is like an episode of Love, Death and Robots, and there was a divide in the racing game community of where some people loved it and some people hated it. But it never got as much hate as the art style change of the recent Skate game. I have never played any of the old Skate games before, but I've seen and watched a good amount of footage of the games, and if any of you have seen it too, then you know that the early games were extremely gritty and had a rather heavy early 2000s aesthetic. But from what I've seen, they kinda took the grittiness down. By the third Skate game to now where the latest game has absolutely zero grit. It is missing so much grit that it looks soft and polished. The world is clean and sterile. It looks like an office, hospital or library, lacking any sort of life in it. The world is flat and geometrical and looks like the world is built up of any free assets they could find because they wanted to delegate the work to people who didn't care about their job either. So using the opportunity to play a Skate game for the first time, I decided to get my own experience, and boy oh boy is this game a mess. First and foremost, this is a game for people who played the previous Skate games. If you missed out on the chance to play the old Skate games, then this game might not be for you. Because there's even a prompt that asks you if you played Skate 3, which I did not, so I had to start from scratch and learn the basics. The first problem I ran into was the character creation. I struggled quite a bit to make my character because the game seems to not be able to tell the difference between male and female. Another thing is, if you look at the characters that you have to choose from, these people look nothing like skateboarders, and the people who design all these characters clearly have no idea what the demographic of skateboarders are. Skateboarding at its core really hasn't changed much. Yeah, sure, the people who used to skateboard have changed, but that change is them getting older, so skateboarders are still pretty much the same. Trying to bring in an unrealistic level of forced inclusion doesn't help. The funny thing about character creation in this game is it's almost exactly the same as Need for Speed Unbound, where they give you the illusion of character creation, but really they just give you a lot of limited options. It's not like the character creation in games like Saints Row and Skyrim, video games that are based off of character creation, but with the latest line of EA games, it seems like they just throw it in there with next to no options. At the end of the day, you're better off just not bothering with it at all. And I have a thing of where if a game has character creation, then I make my characters look like me. It's just a little silly immersion thing I do, but with this game I couldn't do it. I had to stick to the presets since I couldn't make my own, and found that I couldn't really make my body proportions because the game thinks only women have big builds. And when I would try and make broad shoulders, for some reason the character's chest started to look like a woman's, so I had to settle for less and just make a generic version of me. One thing that also caught me off guard is that the game has vitiligo in it, and no, I don't have vitiligo, and I find it weird that there is vitiligo, but yet I can't even make my character look like me. I just feel that it is a very weird thing. Out of all things you choose to zero in on that. But I mean, if it makes people with vitiligo feel better about themselves, then that's good, I guess. I would say that one of the most redeeming qualities about Skate 2025 is the gameplay. I haven't played any of the old Skate games, so I have no idea if it plays like the old games. But for me, the game works in that aspect. The skateboarding is decent. I'm not the biggest fan of sports games, but this time it was a little fun to ride around and do tricks that I can't do in real life. But that's where the fun ends. There's no story and the progression isn't the best, so I didn't really stick around for it. I just messed around in the free roam and fooled around. I just wanted to try the new Skate out since the game is free. I don't lose anything by giving it a try. As far as the skateboarding game goes, it's not too bad. The skateboarding side is decent, but as far as the Skate game goes, I don't think it's like the old games, and it's very weak in everything else, and it's the same with NFS Unbound. I don't know why the art style changed, but at the same time the game is free, so you don't have to play it if you really don't want to. To be honest, you're not missing out on anything if you don't play it. And with that, this is the Chilling Man signing off. Thank everyone for watching. Peace out.